Hello, it's Amy O with Life Redesigned, where we grow through what we go through. And today I'm going to be discussing 3 characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. Those of you that are in the entrepreneurial world, you know that this is not in the easiest road maybe that you could have chose, but we choose it because we want the flexibility, we have a passion, we have a purpose for whatever it is that we're doing. So it's important for us, for our service and our product, to be able to get out to our customers and clients and do what it is that we were called and, activated as a human, as a woman, to be able to do. So drop me some notes in the comments today. If you are fired up about being an entrepreneur, drop me a little fire emoji down there that you are like super fired up. Everything about being an entrepreneur is going amazing. You're loving it. You're living your best life ever. Drop me all the way down to like, maybe like a thumbs down in the comments to talk about if you are not where you want to be as an entrepreneur quite yet, and you're looking maybe for some strategies or some implementation within your business and within your entrepreneurial world in order to kind of scale and get to that next level. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Drop me a 1 or a thumbs down if you're not quite where you want to be, and drop me some fire or a 5 if you're exactly where you want to be with your schedule and income. Let's talk about characteristics of any successful entrepreneur. Number 1 is having the right attitude. Woo, as an entrepreneur, wow, are we tested, right? We are tested. It is a true story that our attitude really, really, really matters as an entrepreneur. Now, our attitude matters in life, just generally speaking, but it also matters as an entrepreneur because we're being looked at, we're being watched by our staff, by our family, by our friends. We're being more dissected than any other position out there because we are in a leadership role. So our attitude counts. Our attitude matters. One thing that I've learned about being a really good boss and learning from being maybe a not so good boss is really taking a stance of making sure that your attitude doesn't come across that you know everything. Because let's face it, as entrepreneurs, we don't. As an entrepreneur, you should still be looking at what your job specifically is within your entrepreneur world, within your business. What is it that you are really good at? Those are the things that you still should be doing. And the things that are not your strengths, you should be delegating, you should be automating, you should be asking others to do. Okay. So not stepping into a role of really thinking and acting like we do know everything, but also just having the right attitude and being humble, leading from a stance of being of humbleness, really, and coming underneath to lift and lead versus over top, empowering and pressing down. I learned that the hard way and did a lot of just like, kind of poured in that masculine energy within my business and really just kind of learned the hard way that that's not the way to lead individuals to help your company grow. It's more like coming around and lifting and allowing them to use their strengths the same way that you are using your strengths, right? Other successful entrepreneurs, we thrive on competition. So your attitude coming into being an entrepreneur or being an entrepreneur right now, based on competition, matters. One of my favorite sayings, as if you guys have been watching my videos, you've heard me talk about the Nike slogan. And I know it's just like the simplest slogan. It's like, just do it. But I don't know. It's a slogan that I feel like just resonates with me so much because it's about taking action. Like there's a lot of integration within those words, in my opinion. And I think it's really, really important to think about like the action, the do type of attitude that slogan has. But one of my favorite quotes is that, as Nike was building their business, Nike never looked at what Reebok was doing. Reebok is a really great entity. Nike is an amazing entity, but Nike never looked over at Reebok. So what is your attitude toward your competition? That's going to matter. Is your attitude that you look over, that you're constantly looking to the right, you're constantly looking to the left, you're constantly looking around like, oh, this is happening over there, this is happening over there. I'm telling you what, I'm so streamlined focused on my business and what I'm doing and not having any distractions. Most of the time, I don't even know what's going on out there. Why? not because I don't care, because I think it's beneficial to look at, but I'm focused on hitting our goals. Because I know if I stay true to my why and I stay true to my path, my business is going to hit what I want it to do. My personal life is going to hit and be where I want it to be because I'm focused on that path. So don't get so, your attitude as a successful entrepreneur has got to be just that. It's not being afraid of the competition. It's actually somewhat thriving the fact that there is competition and knowing that you can stand your ground and never getting scared with that competition. Does that make sense? Okay, number 2, this kind of goes right along with attitude, diligence, hard work. There is no doubt in any of our minds, you guys, that we need to do straight up hard work to get to where we need to be. Starting a business is not for the weak. Starting a business is not for people that might get scared. It's not for those individuals that, a little bump in the road happens and you're going to give up. Starting a business is for those with very thick skin. It's like being a rhinoceros, the thickest skin that you can possibly imagine. So things just end up bouncing off of you. You've got to get down to the grind. You've got to put in the hard sweat equity, in the sweat, blood, and tears in order to build your brand and make your business work. The hard work pays off. And one thing I always love to talk about with attitude and hard work, and this kind of goes together, is leading by example. So if I want my staff to clean the studio, guess what I'm doing if I'm in teaching classes and classes get done? I'm there. I'm also cleaning the studio. I'll clean the toilets. Listen, I'm here to lead by example because I'm never going to ask you to do something that I haven't done. Okay. I'm never going to ask you to try something that I haven't tried. In my coaching business, I'm not going to coach you on something I haven't done. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to coach you in a system and a strategy in a way that has gotten success in my business. Okay. So it's kind of like thinking and acting a little bit different than those that are not entrepreneurs, right? Okay, so let's keep going. Perseverance is part of that. Perseverance is part of that, attitude and that hard work. If you're going to get scared every single time your competition does something successful, don't be an entrepreneur. If you're going to, back down when something gets hard, don't be an entrepreneur. If your feelings are going to get too hurt because somebody said they don't like what your business does and they don't think you're doing it right, or they don't think it works, or they think that you're wrong, don't become an entrepreneur. Okay. You've got to have the perseverance to be able to come through. You've got to have the determination, the strength, the fortitude, the persistence to really move forward against all odds. I'm talking all odds, not just some, but all. Where there is a will, there is a way. If you have the will in your heart, there is a way to make this happen and to make your business succeed. So when you are determined, your staff, your team are going to be determined, whether that's in your personal life or whether that's in business. If you put in the hard work, you're going to lead by example, and your staff and your team is going to see that. Does that make sense? So again, leading by example, leading from underneath. One of those characteristics within that perseverance is slowing down so that you know exactly the steps that you need to take. And we talk about this in the business strategy moment, or what is that word called? You guys, what am I? Oh, the live that I did a couple weeks ago or last week. I'm losing like what day it is, not week it is. Time's flying already. Okay. So you want to slow down to lead. Okay. We need to slow down because right now your business is going to move faster than you can imagine. And I know like in our heads, it's like move fast, implement this, like do all that. I got to have the right attitude. I got, all this, but you've really got to slow down to understand what's happening within there. So yes, your attitude needs to be there. Yes, your determination needs to be there. Yes, the activation, the perseverance, the strength, the fortitude, all of that needs to be there. But you also have to take things slow enough so that you are completely aware of what is going on in your business so that you can lead correctly. There's no worse thing as a business owner of being convicted that you're a bad boss. Okay, I would love to sit here and tell you that I've never been convicted of that for the last 10 years in almost $1 million in sales, I've been an amazing boss to every single person that worked for me. I wish I could tell you that, but I can't. But I've learned from my mistakes, right? So all you can do is learn how to slow down, because when I was speeding up, when I was moving too fast, I missed things, right? So what I've learned is slowing down is actually what allows you to be able to speed up. Slowing down helps you to lead. Slowing down allows your attitude to stay on track and for the path to be able to stay straight. It allows you to be able to lead your team in swimming upstream against all those odds. Yeah. So finding that success, leading by example, swimming upstream, going against all odds. Nobody said it was going to be easy, but those are the things that we really, really, really want to look for. Let's talk about some things that kind of come underneath within those three characteristics of being an entrepreneur. And as an entrepreneur and as entrepreneurs, we're called to motivate. Motivation is such a big thing. So by nature, chances are if you are an entrepreneur, chances are by nature you're motivated. Okay, you're ready to put in the work. You're like ready to do that. Entrepreneur spirits and efforts they're just going to be rewarded. They're going to be rewarded by your success because you're ready to put in that work. So motivation is key to latch onto those characteristics within your attitude and within those things that we just had talked about. Passion is another key to latch onto that attitude. So chances are, as an entrepreneur, you tend to be more driven by a passion and basically a desire to make a difference. So allow that passion, that why, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, to latch onto your attitude and leading by example as well. Okay. So as an entrepreneur thinking about it, yeah, it's, a payday at the end of the tunnel. It's like, it's great for this, or it's great money makers, but entrepreneurs are more driven by making a difference. Entrepreneurs are more driven by goals, by the challenge, by that spirit. So latching on with these characteristics with the three things that we had talked about, latching on passion with that is what's going to make a difference. Also latching on your vision. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, same thing. If you have a vision, a clear vision of what you want to achieve, those characteristics that we just talked about are going to shine so bright, you won't even know what to do with them. It's how you can accomplish your objectives. Who do you need on your side to reach your goals? What is your why? All of that wraps up into the vision, which drives into the right attitude, perseverance, fortitude, pressing forward, going against all odds. All of that is what you're going to need. The best entrepreneurs latch on vision to their characteristics and stay extremely clear on what it is that they are after and what their purpose is. Your purpose, your why is your power. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about to latch onto those three characteristics is confidence. You have got to be confident as an entrepreneur, and as an entrepreneur, you are confident. You're confident both in yourself, both in what you're practicing, your product, your service. People have got to know, like, you're not selling something, without a shadow of a doubt that what you have to offer is going to change the community. It's going to alter their life. It's going to allow them to lose weight. It's going to help their body feel better. Okay. It's that self-belief that you have entering into that world that's going to make such a big difference. Okay. So we talked about the three characteristics of being an entrepreneur. We talked about having the right attitude. We talked about that commitment, that perseverance, above all else, making sure that we've got that diligence, that hard work, right? We talked about so much of that, how it's so important to lead by example and how it's so important to slow down to lead. Leadership is that third piece, and attaching motivation, attaching your passion to your attitude, attaching vision and confidence as well. So if you are looking for an entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur, chances are you've got these characteristics in you, or you've seen these characteristics in an entrepreneur that you've been walking side by side with. So this is what's going to set you apart from being an entrepreneur and not being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. Do you agree? Drop me some fire below if you're agreeing. Drop me a little fist bump if you're an entrepreneur and you're living the good life of just pressing forward, beating all the odds, and really focusing on all these things that we talked about today. I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job, and we'll talk to you next time. See you soon.